Hello, Daily Drafters, and welcome back to the channel for today's Daily Draft. We're going to see if we can have as much fun today as we did yesterday with an amazing draft yesterday for those of you that didn't see it. I won't spoil it just yet. Maybe I'll spoil it later in this video because I'm still kind of excited about it. But we've got a new premiere draft of Murders at Karlov Manor here today, and we're going to dive into pack one, pick one. And Assassin's Trophy, unfortunately, is not the limited all-star that you might think it is, or it was back in 2019, or Constructed All-Star it was back in when did this last come out? 2017, 2018? But Case of the Gateway Express is, and white is the best color. Look, I'm at this point in the format, I'm kind of looking for reasons to not draft white. But if you give me a pack that's this bad with cards like Cold Case Cracker, Unscrupulous Agent, in both of these cases, you gotta take Case of the Gateway Express. It'd be irresponsible not to. And then we go right back into black green because apparently our neighbor to the right didn't think that Azoni Center of the Web was good enough. This is currently either the 1 or 2 ranked rare or mythic performing card in on 17lands.com. It's insane, and we're going to be playing it today one way or another. What else is in this pack if this wasn't here? Satchel is pretty good. That's about it. We got handed a gift with Azoni here, so we're gonna go ahead and take this and hopefully can find our way into some sort of green-black deck or some sort of green-based deck that is able to splash around is the idea. And boy, have these packs just been bad. All the black cards are really not good. There's a Riftburst Hellion. Exit Specialist, I think, is the best card here by a lot. So I'm going to take it over Market Watch Phantom, Rune Brand Juggler, and a Riftburst Hellion. I think Specialist is the best. We could still be something like Blue-Green Splash Azoni, or Black-Blue, or even Black-Green and abandon both of these cards. Because all of our first 3 packs, apart from the cards we have taken, have been pretty bad. And as good as Glintweaver is, and as much as I would like a Biting Out on Crime and things like that, I do think I'm going to take the rare land here because it does touch one of the colors that Azoni is. Which means this helps open up blue as an opportunity to play as a base color. So I'm going to go ahead and take Undercity Sewers as the surveil land to help fix us a little bit for what is a card I'd very, very much like to include in my deck. Okay, here we have more fixing with Escape Tunnel over a Dual Leech, which is a bit more aggressive. Azoni can be aggressive. This also, well, I was going to say this puts itself in the yard for Collect Evidence, but it doesn't have a mana value, so that doesn't really work. Gossip might not be bad. We can go red-green with this start, but let's go ahead and take another piece of fixing here. And now we've got Out Cold versus Slice from Shadows. Both of these are quite good. We could be blue-black Splash Azoni. We could be black-green straight up. We could be green black, and what is the other option? Whatever the other option is. This is a close one here. I think Exit Specialist is good enough that I'm actually going to take this and see if I can be some sort of base blue splashy around deck. Cease and Desist could work for us. Exile up to 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Target player gains 2 life and draws a card. I haven't been a fan of Sudden Setback. I think Dramatic Accusation is just okay. So I think I'm just going to take Cease and Desist here. Fester Leech is probably the best card here, but it's for much more of an aggressive black deck that I don't know that we are. There's also, I'm not going to do Slime against Humanity, I don't think. Toxin Analysis, I'm not playing Spell Snare. I guess I'll take the Leech. It's really the only card I would consider here. Oh, look, they went this way. There's some fixing. And all of the green and black cards came back out of this pack, including Unscrupulous Agent. But I'm going to go ahead and take the piece of fixing here. I'll take Deduce here now over some things we're probably not playing. I don't think I'm playing any of that either. Same thing here, and Lead Pipe is, again, much more of an aggressive card that we are likely not to be. So, can we find a direction in pack 2? Lamplight Phoenix is great. I just don't think that's the way that our deck is going here today. We do have Soul Enervation, Lush Portico, but don't really have any white cards we really want to splash. Case isn't a great splash. Tunnel Tipster's great. This could be a case of the Shattered Pact deck. I don't think it's going to be. I never have the gumption to go after things like this, because if it doesn't work, it's just horrible. I might take Tunnel Tipster here as just some good ramp. Help us get to Izoni. I'm looking at myself as probably a base blue-green deck at this point, splashing at least Izoni here. So let's go ahead and take Tunnel Tipster here. And a Nervous Gardener, more fixing here. Not bad. There's a Galvanize for blue, or for red. There's Faith Light, which could go well with Izoni. There's Eliminator, but that's not much of a splash card. Radical is much more of an aggressive card. Culprit, or Reasonable Doubt, actually could be a card I could play. But I'm going to go ahead and take Nervous Gardener here. I do like Repulsive Mutation, and this is a card I haven't had a chance to play yet. So you put X counters on a creature and then target a counter a spell unless the controller pays mana equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. There's also an Eavesdropper and a Surveillance Monitor. We're not looking to be like a huge, you know, collect evidence deck here today necessarily. But we do want to make sure we have at least some synergies with that because of Izoni. But I'm going to go ahead and take Repulsive Mutation here. And at this point, I think I'm relatively locked into blue-green splashing black. So do I take Vitu-Ghazi Inspector or Loxodon Eavesdropper? I think I'm going to take the Eavesdropper here. This card has been slightly underwhelming for me, and I do like an Eavesdropper. So let's take that here. Insidious Roots over Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. Let's see. We are trying to splash black already. What ways do we have for creatures to leave the graveyard? We don't have any of the Rubble Belt Mavericks, and we don't have any Gravestone Striders yet. I just don't think I care too much about a Vitu-Ghazi Inspector. I mean, I feel like if I want one of those, I can get one of those. They might even wheel. So let's take the Insidious Roots and see where to go from there. Ooh, Aftermath Analyst. Perfect for, well, just being a roadblock and potentially ramping us a little bit later, self-milling us, getting collect evidence things in the yard. Let's go ahead and take an Aftermath Analyst here. Have yet to see a chalk outline. Another Repulsive Mutation. Don't mind if I do. I mean, the card's good. Go ahead and take it. Looks like blue-green is also open. And we're just going to kind of rely on the power of Izoni here. Because everything else isn't the greatest. Flotsam and Jetsam. We might care about the mill. And I also don't mind casting Jetsam sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and take that here. I don't think I'm playing anything out of that pack. Reasonable Doubt and Faith Light came back. Faith Light is great with protecting Izoni. Yeah, I feel like if I want a Reasonable Doubt, I might be able to get one in pack 3 here. So I wanted to take just the card that protects the best card in our deck. Alright, I have opened Unyielding Gatekeeper quite a few times. And it's a great card, just not for today. There's another Nervous Gardener. There is a Gravestone Strider, I don't think we're a Fanatical Strength deck, and strangely enough, the only blue card in the entire pack is Granite Witness. I think I might just take another Nervous Gardener, and I would really like to wheel this Gravestone Strider if possible. But I think this is a relatively easy Nervous Gardener for me. Shadowy Backstreet unfortunately doesn't fix for the color that we want to. But we do have another Escape Tunnel. We're not even like that like crazy about fixing necessarily. We're just trying to splash the Azoni. We've already got Sewers, Escape Tunnel, and Double Gardener, which is like plenty enough. I might just take another Escape Tunnel here. I guess I could take, you know, well, it doesn't add up. If that were a single black card, I'd take it because we can get Azoni back. We might even be able to splash the double black. I just don't think that's super responsible. So I'll just take another Escape Tunnel. I don't think I need this Escape Tunnel. So we've got Vitu-Ghazi Inspector and then a bunch of stuff I'm not playing here. So I guess I'll just go ahead and take that. Dramatic Accusation over Rakish Scoundrel. Not playing anything else here. So we're getting to the point where the power level is certainly going to be going down. Gosh, I always say I want a Gravestone Strider, and then I see cards like Forensic Researcher, which can give us a turn 4 Azoni, or turn 5 Azoni. And Topiary Panthers with splashing as well. But I think I just gotta take this card, and we don't have to splash the Insidious Roots. In fact, it's probably just not going to be good for us to do that. Do I have room in the curve for an Investigators here? Yeah, probably so. I don't think I need a Radical. It's not that kind of deck. So let's take Investigators. Maybe we play it, maybe we don't. I guess we take another one. And another Fey Flight here. Would I rather that over nothing? Sure. Guess I could splash 10 Street Gossip, but don't need that. And look, Gravestone Strider did not come back. So people know what's up with that. So we're going to go ahead and put that into the sideboard. And it looks like we're just splashing Azoni in a blue-green deck that didn't quite get there on power level. I mean, it's definitely got... It's got upside, don't get me wrong, but what do we got? 13 creatures. Yeah, it's not great. I prefer to cast that as 6 if possible. And then I could play a Cold Case Cracker over a Pompous Gadabout, I guess. Do I want to? No, I don't think I'm doing it. Doesn't add up today. Doesn't really matter what I take there. So 27 cards, got to cut a few. Should be able to do that just fine. Probably play, I don't know how many lands. Probably still 17. I could splash Reconstruction because I've got Azoni. I'll see what I want to do in deck build here. So I'll see you after deck building. Okay, so this is where I ended up with 17 lands here. I do think I will splash this Macabre Reconstruction, because the way I see us winning these games is casting Azoni, holding up Fey Flight to protect it, and use Reconstruction to get it back. Because everything else, we just have 2/2s and 1/1s and 1/3s and 3/3s. It's just not really good enough. So we're going to have to rely a lot on Azoni surviving here. I did put 2 swamps because we do have a little bit of self-mill with Aftermath Analyst and... Actually, I guess that's it. No, Cease. No, that's not the one I was thinking of. Flotsam, there we go. Flotsam and Aftermath Analyst could mill like our only swamp, which would not be great, and then Escape Tunnel doesn't fix for Azoni anymore, so I put 2 in here. We still have, you know, 9 blue sources and 8 green sources and now 4 black sources. And these can count as blue, and these can count as other sources too, and, you know, Nervous Gardener fixes as well. So Just wanted to make sure I didn't mill my only swamp with this deck. So this will be interesting. I don't think it's super powerful. We just have to hope that his Oni shows up early and often. We'll see. See you in game 1. Alright, starting on the draw here. The hand, like, isn't great, but we've got Deduce, we've got Gardener to help us find more land drops. A little expensive here, but we'll take us. We can start with Escape Tunnel. We've got all 3 of our colors. So I guess the question is, do I play Analyst on 2? And I think I do. Let's just play Analyst here. Milled at least 1 more land, not bad. I could actually just cast Sewers, or play Sewers, Surveil, and cast Deduce next turn, Disguise Gardener, and flip it up. Yeah, let's do that. I don't actually think we need that. We've got 6 lands already. The Sultai Mirror. I suppose I could have blocked, but there are creatures that have at least 3 power that they could have flipped up. So they know we have Nervous Gardener, but most people do when you play it. I've pretty much picked up on my opponents having Nervous Gardener like every time they do. But because it has a very specific play pattern and tapping pattern here. More Disguise. Alright, so exile 2 cards from a graveyard, gain 2 life, draw a card. Probably... We're not going to do that just to gain 2 life and draw a card, I don't think. So... I guess we can do this. And then just crack a clue here. As long as they miss their 5th land drop, both of these creatures can trade with any of their disguised creatures. Well, not anymore. Alright, so now we got a lifelinking flyer coming at us. I guess I can go ahead and just bounce it here. I'll offer both trades. I don't mind trading with the Vengeful Creeper here. Okay, and we hit a Riftburst Hellion. They're pretty far away from flipping that. Looks like, yeah, I was about to say, looks like they've got Extract a Confession and Disguise their Sanguine Savior here. That's what I thought they would have. Sure. Oh, they just traded with the Savior. Okay. Alright, go ahead. I guess I could block, and if they go to flip it up, I can just sacrifice it and get a couple lands back, including an escape tunnel, thin my deck even more. Yeah, I don't think I need to counter that. I think that's okay, actually. Let's see if they try to sacrifice something. Yeah, just a 5-mana 3/3? Yeah, that's fine. So let's do this here. Decline to pay because it can't be countered. And then do I cast Cease? Or do I just crack the Clue? I think I'm just going to crack the Clue. Another mutation. Alright. Reconstruction can get back like Investigators and Vengeful Creeper right now, which isn't bad. Gravestone Strider, that is probably okay. I think I'm just going to cycle this here now. Target player gains 2 and draws. That's me. Yeah, see, our deck like really isn't doing anything right now. I guess I can accusation this thing and in the hopes that it's something big, because I don't really care too much about a 3/3. Let's just do this. Can still hold up mutation, can still sacrifice analyst. We're just playing the exact same mana base here. Crawl Whipcracker, not good enough. Okay, I'll let it hit me this time. Yeah, pretty good. And I guess pass it back again. And like we mentioned in deck building, we're just trying to find a Zoni here. Okay, I think I'll just go ahead and counter this because... just because. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This would be x equals 3. Now we have a 5/5 that can also bounce a creature. Let's just go ahead and flip this, because we can also counter this Eliminator when it comes back, which is going to be pretty good. Escape Tunnel, no, not really going to do it. Thin the deck even farther? I don't know. What else do we have? Flotsam, Jetsam, Cold. Yeah, all the, like, the best cards right here in this situation. I guess I just have to Macabre Reconstruction at this point, right? Like... So let's attack here. I can get Investigators, I can get Creeper. I mean, these are just big creatures that put pressure on them. And then do this, get back, I think, Investigators and Creeper, like I said. And then just hold up Mutation here for when they go to cast Eliminator. So we can do this for x equals 2 now. And we can actually get all the other lands out of our deck, so every single card we draw from here on out is likely to be a valuable card here. Well, except one swamp. I don't think it's more valuable to just keep it down as an unblockable thing. I was about to say, if we drew that one swamp, I would just cry. Okay, let's do this. Make sure we can get in for 7 here. And then just play a 5/5. And now we've got lethal a couple different ways. Hopefully no board wipe. Oh, out cold? Probably want to do that on my turn if that is what you have. Another Eliminator. Okay. Not too bad. I'm gonna get rid of this thing, and we still have to make them chump block here. They went this way is not the greatest of draws. I guess Faith Flight could be helpful here. Nervous Gardener is not. Come on, Izoni. There's 5 cards left in our deck. What are we doing here? There's Fae Flight. Would I rather just play a 2/2? Yeah, I think I would. I'll just go ahead and play this. And I'm going to play it on the backside only because the front side is just a 2/2. The backside is a 2/2 with Ward 2. So that's the only reason I did it that way here. And 4 cards left. We know none of them are lands. They've got a Zoni themselves, don't they? Okay. Must be nice. It says reach, doesn't it? No, but these do. Okay, well... yeah, that was one of the better cards they could have had, obviously. So what happens if I attack all? They eat it, they trade, they chump. If I give something flying, they can still block. Wow, okay, yeah, that's why this card is so good and why there's only 3 cards left in our deck, and if it's the last card, it does absolutely nothing for us. I think they're going to have us here because Izoni's now just going to attack and make 2 more of these things. Yeah, like if they keep these back, it's just better to keep that back here. Because they're going to have 4 creatures with reach. And again, if our Izoni is not the next card, then we only get 1 turn with it. And if it's the last card, it doesn't matter. At all. Because we have another Fae Flight in the deck, though. So we have Izoni, a Fae Flight, and... can't remember the last of the cards here. I don't think it's Nervous Gardener. We've already used a couple of those. And even double Fae Flight doesn't work this time if they attack with the Zoni because they have 4 of these. Okay, yeah, they're about to get us here. Yeah, here it comes. I don't think I can actually draw the card. I have to just hope. Hope they don't have anything. It's got Menace. Okay. Well. We just have to hope Izoni is our next card, basically. It's pretty much all we can do. Can I even sacrifice it? I don't think I can even sacrifice it, so I just let them destroy it. All of the reach here, so Fae Flight just doesn't do anything. Come on, Izoni. Okay. Gonna have to work. Collect evidence 4. I guess I should have attacked first. It's not the end of the world, but Now we know we have one more Fey Flight and another card in there. Have you ever seen a number that big for collect evidence? 56? Yeah, that would have been insane, but too bad we have to give it hexproof here now. Wait, why did they get... Oh, they created copies of that too. Oh, Flotsam and Jetsam. And we know the last card is a Fey Flight here. What could we get? We could get their own Azoni, which would get us more tutus. But it would sacrifice itself immediately. Oh no, we can cast any spell. Oh, we can get Doppelgang? No, but then Doppelgang casts for X equals 0, so that's not it. I guess I can cast a Whipcracker and kill one of their tutus, maybe? Well, let's see here. Okay, so... I could get their Azoni as well. Okay, wow. They weren't officially dead. We only had one card left in there. I could get their Azoni and then just make 2 tutus. Which might have been good enough, but man, came at just the right time there. And also got to counter their Doppelgang for X equals 2. Alright, we're up first this time with the slow hand. But, you know, we got Flotsam on 2 to mill 3 cards and then go from there, I guess. We always... Not always, but usually want to be disguising Nervous Gardener. And in this case, without a green, we'll probably want to do that. Okay, making some decisions over there, and off we go. Oof. Well, would have been good if we had a green, obviously. I think I'm going to cast Flotsam, and if I miss a land drop, I got to crack the clue here. Okay, thank God we did that. We were 4 cards away from... A minimum 4 cards away from a land. Jeez, okay. Yeah. That could have been horrible. I mean, it still is horrible, but it could have been worse. Alright, off we go. Let's do... Yeah, let's disguise this thing, I guess. Gotta flip it up next turn, get a green, and then maybe cast Forensic Researcher. Really hope this survives. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't. We do have all 3 of our colors and at least 3 lands now, so that is good. Again, not going to trade. Sprite, don't collect evidence. Sure. Okay, let's go get another green. And then play... Yeah. Well... Guess we can attack first and then play Researcher here. Now next turn we have as many as 5 mana if we want it. Case of the Trampled Garden, now you have 6 here, and I can't block either. Okay, now we have 6 mana if we want it, and I think I do want it. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4 for Eavesdropper. Untap. Inspector. Collect evidence. 6. Put a counter on itself so it can block the sprite here. And we got a lot of clues, so that's good. But requires a lot of mana. Curious Cadaver, that's also fine, because Vitu-Ghazi Inspector holds that back just fine. Except, case now isn't great. So let's do Sewers. That's probably okay. I can do Accusation on this thing, and then it can't die and go to the graveyard and stuff. Do I want to tap out, or would I rather just play a Tunnel Tipster? Or hold up Mutation here? I mean, they can keep attacking with Sprite at this point. I can also cast Mutation, put counters on this thing, and be able to block it. But right now I can't actually put any counters on it, so I think I'm going to have to take at least one hit from it here, so let's just cast the Tipster. And I guess I could actually tap down the Sprite. I think I am actually fine trading this off for either of these creatures here, even their morph creature, or disguised creature, I guess. So I'll choose to attack. I need to be better about just, like, making my decisions post-combat. Obviously, the Dramatic Accusation pre-combat changes blocks, but just playing the Tunnel Tipster post-combat, just... there's no reason not to do that. Sometimes I just get a little bit ahead of myself. Do I have something for exactly 3 in here? No, I'd have to use 2 cards and make it 4. And I think I will actually do that on this. Can't block, unfortunately. I mean, I could. I'm just not going to. And now next turn we've got a Cold Case Cracker coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So I can cast the Cracker, hold up Mutation for 2. Yeah, go ahead. They got the biggest thing now. They have access to 6 mana. I'm at 10, which is not a lot of life, notably. Sack a creature. Yeah, that's okay. I can deal with that. Um... No, we won't do that one. Okay, let's tap that thing down. Do they still have priority? They do. Could just be flipping this thing up. I could potentially get him out of nowhere with a repulsive mutation as well. Because I can just cast this to put, you know, potentially up to like 6 counters on a creature I control. Candlestick and a disguise creature. I think I'm gonna let that resolve. That could be wrong. Fey Flight. Gosh, so many options here. Could play Exit Specialist and flip it up to bounce something. What if I attack with everything and they don't block? I can only put 4 counters on something right now, which probably isn't enough. Again, making decisions pre-combat for some reason. I still have 4 mana, so I can pay. I can pay to flip this and also pay for Fey Flight. I think I am going to have to use Researcher again to tap something down here. But if I have to bounce one of these things, I need to have all 4 of my mana. This is tough. These are the points in Magic games where I think I could probably improve a little bit. I don't know like what is quote unquote like optimal here, you know? But that's why Magic is so great, because I don't know if there's like a right answer in all these situations. Like you can make so many different decisions, but is there a correct, like a quote unquote correct answer? I don't know. kind of have to pay the ward here. And let's see what they got now. Okay, so that was a Shady Informant, which they could have flipped up. I can't do Repulsive Mutation anymore this turn. So this can't be blocked by creatures power 3 or greater. So something I could do is attack with this. If they don't block it, I could put a bunch of counters on it because they can only block it with their disguise creature right now. Equip that and play the creature. And yeah, play the informant. Okay. Gosh, do I have lethal somehow? Repulsive Mutation could be close. I could make this unblockable, and then this has to be blocked by one of these two, basically. They would block this, and then they would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a bunch. I mean, so they block this, they block this, and they block this. So then they're taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I can put 1, 2, 3, 4 counters on something. Right? Is that how that works? Because I have to attack with these things? So they eat that one, they block that one, and they block the Eavesdropper to chump here. If they don't block Eavesdropper, then they lose. And then they have to take 5. And I can put, yeah, again, 4 counters. Because these will both be tapped. If I don't attack with that, that just represents 1 more counter, but 1 less point of damage. Oh my gosh. There is a way I win if I go for it, but if they block correctly, I lose. Alright, I'm gonna hope they mess up here. They don't know we have mutation. This is probably not the correct thing. This game has also been going on for a while here. I don't officially have lethal, but there are some blocks they could make that would just not be very good for them. Yeah, I thought that would happen. Yeah, again, like I said, I don't think this is optimal, but this would be lethal. Okay, they changed it. Yeah, if they block the Researcher, I win. I wonder why they're blocking Researcher. That's really weird. What do they have? Oh, they have lifelink. Do they have Toxin Analysis in hand? I'm gonna cry if they have Toxin Analysis. Okay, they didn't. Alright, well, they made the mistake of blocking. I have no idea why they blocked Forensic Researcher there. That was kind of strange, but you know what? Sometimes you just gotta full send, and math is for blockers. Alright, here we are going first, this time with Tunnel Tipster on 2, and it's gonna have to be good enough. I think I'm gonna thin my deck with Escape Tunnel here. I don't know what land to get necessarily. Probably just a blue. Do we have doubles? Like double costed things here? I mean, not really. So let's do blue. We play Forest Tunnel Tipster next turn. And just pass, I guess. I'm not gonna... I mean, I can hold up Out Cold here and Mutation. Alright, so they got nothing. Okay, now I suppose I can attack. I'm not gonna play the Inspector, I don't think. Still have nothing? Wow, okay. Yeah, I don't either. That's the thing. Neither of us really have anything. What a game. What a thrilling game here. I kind of have to counter that just because... Like, if I don't have a creature, and then this doesn't counter anything. So, I now have a 4/4, I guess. Let's see if they're going to remove that. Vampire and, yeah, Novice Inspector. There you go. You got it. You got the combo. Start by attacking. Get on in there. Play Specialist and more than likely just bounce the Vampire here. What is this bounce? Target creature? Wonderful. That is Akaya. I hate the static ability on this thing. It's so ridiculous. Whenever one or more creatures you control and or creatures in your graveyard are put into exile, you may choose a creature from among them until it token cop and becomes blah 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 blah. Okay, I think I'm actually going to bounce their token now. Because it just gets rid of it forever. And then I can out-cold both of these things and hit down Kaya here. Question is, I hope they don't have interaction for this. Or a way to kill Tunnel Tipster. I mean, if they kill Tunnel Tipster, then this isn't great for me. But let's see. Okay, that worked. And... I guess I missed out on a point of damage because I probably should have done this pre-combat if I was going to do it. I thought I was just going to crack the clue, but let's go ahead and just do this here. And then put the counter probably on the exit specialist, I think. So again, missed out on a point of damage. They haven't proven they have an answer to my 5/5, but they do have 5 cards in hand. Okay, that's not too bad, actually, because that could protect some things on our side. Do we need more protection? Okay, you go to 5, and I'll just hold up Fae Flights, I guess. Seasoned Consultant. Trigger. Come on. Just gonna go ahead and 2-for-1 myself here just to get rid of that thing. Still have a 5/5 and protection for that 5/5. I don't have anything else going on here, like, at all. They're flooding too, so... Karlov Watchdogs, yeah. Come on. Oh, I just had lethal. Thank God they didn't block. Alright, well, we had it. What a clean game. Not a very clean game. Still 3-0 though, we'll take it. Okay, we go first here. We've got Flotsam, which is a delayed cantrip with Vengeful Creeper on 3. It's not the greatest of hands, but I think it's better than sending it back here, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it. And then I do believe I will cast Flotsam on 2 and Creeper on 3, I think. Okay, there goes all of our lands. Did find one anyway, so we're good. Let's go ahead and disguise this. And unfortunately, we didn't really help ourselves out basically at all when it comes to collecting evidence, except for the fact that we put Flotsam Jetsam in the yard. So let's bluff an attack here and then play Loxodon Eavesdropper. And they are mana screwed. Did not draw a third or their second color here. Neighborhood Guardian. Okay. More lands. Thank goodness I cast this. We would have drawn 5 lands in a row at this point. So let's go ahead and do this. Make the Eavesdropper effectively unblockable for the moment. And then I will be fine trading this for Neighborhood Guardian if that's what they choose to do here. That's okay with me. And then... would I rather play an Inspector or just crack another clue here? I mean, the Inspector isn't even that great on this board, but I'm just going to hold up Fae Flight and crack a clue if they don't kill my creature here. I don't think the Inspector really matters. Even if I put the counter on it, like, it's still going to get blocked by this. Okay. I guess they just did that just to cycle to try to get a clue here. Let's go ahead and get in and then play Cracker and probably just Tunnel Tipster. I don't necessarily need to keep up Fey Flight at this moment. They don't have a lot going on in their hand. Yeah, unfortunately just quite mana screwed on their end. But you know what? It happens to the best of us. We're going to move on to the next one. Starting on the draw this time, and again, the hand is slow, but so is basically everything we do with this deck. But honestly, it's not too bad. You got a lot of extra card draw. Fey Flight. I've drawn worse things. I mean, we can play They Went This Way on turn 3. And then on turn 4, play a Gardener and flip it. Can also cast either of these here now. Probably going to cast Flotsam, I think. Yeah, let's just do this. And target me. Deduce, they have a disguised creature. I have been missing a lot of the land drops here, so let's go ahead and do this and get green. Investigate, and then next turn Gardener can help us hit our 5th land drop. At the expense of our whole turn, notably, but they're not doing much either. Yeah, I still think we've got to do this here. Gotta flip it up now so I can play the land on my turn. Got a lot of blue in hand. I'll take another blue here. And then pass it back. And if they play a land, I can't block this anymore because 5 is the magic number. If they don't play a land, I will happily block. Green, red, blue, black, white. Sure. Got a lot going on. Evidence Examiner, collecting evidence. Okay. We've got the derpy mirror here. And we haven't actually drawn a land from our first the first time we kept the hand. We kept 3, and we found one off of Gardener and found one off of They Went This Way, and have 15 cards gone out of our deck. So what do we do now? I guess we can cast a Deuce, try to hit a land, and then disguise a creature. Okay, there's a land. There we go. Could also out cold, or I can Aftermath Analyst and hold up Fey Flight. I don't really need to hold up anything though, so I guess I can Aftermath and then also crack a clue. Let's do that. Okay, got a couple lands in the yard. And end the turn. I'll hold up Fey Flight if for some reason I feel like I have to. But I'm most likely just going to be cracking a clue here. See how they attack. Okay. Happy to trade Analyst for a combat trick if that's what they want to do. Take 2. That's why they're doing what they're doing. I see. So whenever it deals combat damage to a player, X damage to any target, they draw X cards and gain X life, where X is the number of different color pairs. So right now they have 1. So I'm going to probably have to out cold that thing, because it only triggers on combat damage. So I could also bounce it. Hexproof a multicolored, so that this is still fine. So it cost me 5 mana to bounce it here. That's actually pretty good. That sets them back quite hard. And if I could figure out a way to get it into their graveyard, possibly with Repulsive Mutation, I can reanimate it. So let's do this. Do I want to just bounce it now because they could have some sort of counters or interaction or something like that? Give it hexproof, Faith Flight, things like that. I think I actually will do that. And I could actually counter it with Mutation on the way back down, too. And then next turn I can cast Jetsam and get it on my own side. Which, I mean, it's just a 6/6 flyer. I mean, it wouldn't do much on my side, but a 6/6 flyer is also just pretty good. Yeah, so they don't have the mana here, so let's go ahead and let's just counter it. They might actually collect... Will they collect it away is the thing. Oh, they did collect it away? Okay, so Jetsam looking worse in this matchup already. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I can cast Hot Shot on this, and then attack, and then still crack a clue and hold up Faith Flight here. Looks like the tempo has swung in our favor a little bit. They noticeably did miss a land drop last turn as well, which, look, just hitting your land drops, like we have 8 on the battlefield right now, and we've wanted to use all of the mana every turn. So it's just important to hit them. That was a Crowd Control Warden. Sumala Sentry, okay. Sure. And nothing else. I will go ahead and draw a card, probably cast Jetsam and hold up Faith Flight. And 3, 4, 5, 6. See what we hit. Hit a lot of good things here. The Warden enters the battlefield as a 7/7 right now. Could also just remove their creature. That doesn't seem that great though. Let's cast the Warden. And attack for 4. Hold up Faith Flight. Still have removal in out cold, all sorts of things. Just, you gotta hope there's no sweeper here. That should probably honestly still be okay. I think I might still have lethal without out cold here. We have 11, 12, 13, 14, and they're gonna gain not 6 the way they chose here. We're going to gain 5 up to exactly 14. So that should be lethal as far as I'm concerned. Right, let's see. 7, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So we'll do this. And in we go. All right. Flipped the script on them there and got the late game win. All right, we are up first again. Our hands have just been very slow, but honestly, I think it's fine. like, we haven't played against a lot of Boros, he says, as he now will likely play against Boros. But gotta figure out which one of these I want to do next turn. Or in 2 turns. Really? I had to draw the other swamp? They could have a counterspell. I guess Researcher lets us have more mana next turn. They do have a way to interact with that. They could just bounce it with Unauthorized Exit. It could be a combat trick like Auspicious Arrival. Those are the 2 I'm thinking. It's more than likely not, and it looks like it is Unauthorized Exit. So we chose the wrong one, unfortunately. And Disguise, sure. Now I will actually do this, because what we can do next turn is Researcher and hold up Mutation and Fey Flight. So I'm just going to get this going here now. Cold Case Cracker, yeah. That might actually be better. Let's just do that, flip it up, and plan to block if they miss a land drop here. Could also cast Mutation if we need to. Sure. Okay. So then we do this. They're going to be able to recast this, though. Okay, trade it off. Got some tempo. Interesting they chose to not... They would have had to, I guess, pay the ward there. Okay. Alright, let's do Researcher. And hold up Mutation and hope we can find a way to deal with the Cracker here at some point. It's just such a weird thing to say in this format. Every time I call this, I call it the Cracker. Yeah, I haven't needed, unfortunately, more lands. That's not bad. This isn't a race we currently win, but I can actually use Fey Flight to eat the Cold Case Cracker with Repulsive Mutation backup if they go for removal on it. It's actually pretty good. Let's just pass here. So this still counters unless they pay like 3. Okay. And it gains hexproof. Go to blockers. See if they have a combat trick. They did represent Auspicious Arrival earlier, but looks like that is not what it is. Now we've got a large, flying, double backed up hexproof creature. Sure, I'm just going to let you have that. I don't even care about that anymore. Could have countered it, but I feel like there are better things we could counter. I don't really think I want to be dramatic accusationing that, unfortunately. But the thing is, I'm going to counter most of what they play from here. Like, it's got to be something pretty good for me to not counter it. Or it's got to be something pretty bad for me to not want to counter it at this point. So do I just accusation this thing now? They still get value when detectives enter is the problem. It's just, I can potentially outrace that. Could also shuffle it away if I feel like I have to. Let's just do that. And then end the turn. Mutation for 3 we currently have. That's fine. That is something I have to counter. Well, actually, I could just Fey Flight in response. And then keep up the counter here. Go to my turn. Eavesdropper. Still have mutation up. And to end the turn, I can actually crack the clue and still keep up mutation for 5. I just don't get any counters with it. Alright, let's do it for 4 here then. Or, I guess, 2. And then put it... Probably not there. Let's put it here and then counter that. That way if they remove one of these in response, it still counters it. Like if I went to target the researcher and then they bounced the researcher in response, they would have been able to pay on the eavesdropper there. So Flotsam and Jetsam can currently get a makeshift binding, which would be pretty good. It would actually force them to chump. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and... Doesn't really matter how we tap. 6. So let's get... Yeah, I think... Makeshift binding. Eat the private eye. Eat the other creature. And there we go. Moving up in life to Diamond 1. Okay, we're first here, and oh, hello! Izoni's in the hand, and we have a couple Nervous Gardeners to make sure we hit our land drops to get all the way up to it. So, we'll keep it here. Again, slow hand, but it's been the theme. It's worked out so far, so... In fact, if they play, like... Okay, they play Island first, so I don't even think I need to play a Nervous Gardener on 2. I could just... If they played, like, Plains Novice Inspector, I might consider. What I really don't want to see here is Gleaming Gear Drake. That wouldn't be good. But if they played like Plains Novice Inspector, I might have played a Gardener on 2. Bubble Smuggler, that's fine. cast with Disguise. Don't think I'll... Well, I might block. Because next turn I can disguise this and flip it up to get another land. Or I can flip this one up next turn and disguise the other one and then have this one to block. Yeah, I can afford to take two, I think. Do that next turn. Okay, disguise, sure. Go ahead and do this. And now we have 6 mana. So let's get... It doesn't really matter at this point. Now, do I trade this Nervous Gardener for the Smuggler, or do I just plan on next turn? I don't think I do, because next turn I just play the Eavesdropper and then can still... now I don't, for sure. Because it's a 3... Well, it's a 3/2. So I guess I could. I might just not want him to be able to Surveil 2 next turn as well. I think I'm not going to. I think I'd still like to get the value here. So I do this. I'm going to hold both of these back and play in case they have removal spell. And at this point, I think I'd trade either of them. And then next turn, because if we trade either of them, next turn we can just Azoni and collect evidence. And if they kill it, we can Reconstruction. And we built the deck perfectly. So let's do this, see if they have some sort of trick or something they want to use. Nope, we'll trade off. And what is the follow-up for 5 mana? There's a lot of bombs they could have here, that's for sure. Cornered Crook. It's a pretty good one. Just trades that for an Eavesdropper, so sure. But that gives us more Izoni fodder. So let's do this. Get our creatures. And see if they have removal. That's removal. It's removal for everything, in fact. Okay. Probably should have blocked or attacked first in case I wouldn't have blocked, but that's a board wipe. And then the Gleaming Geardrake I said I didn't want to see, unfortunately. Mutation 1 turn too late. One, two, three, four. Let's get it back here, and I could collect evidence to make this bigger and block that thing. That might, but then I don't have enough evidence to collect when I replay a Zoni here, so I might just play a Disguised Gardener, I guess. Let's just do that. Hope that Mutation doesn't have to hit anything this turn. Okay, well, I couldn't have hit that, I don't think. That is a lot of value. I mean, that's a pretty nice combo. But we're going to draw a bunch of reach creatures with the Zoni, or be able to create a bunch of reach creatures with the Zoni, and at some point maybe even put a counter on a creature to be able to block that and stuff. Okay, they got a Gleaming Geardrake. They are going off here. Oh god, they have two. Oh man, now we're gonna lose. I guess we attack. And end the turn, and gosh, double Gleaming Geardrake, huh? Must be nice. Okay. Do I have to let them investigate again? No, I think I'm just gonna chump. Case of the Burning Masks. So what are they going to do? Kill our 2-1? I guess the only reason I'm doing this is so I can attack with a Zoni next turn and be able to collect evidence again. Oh, I really don't need that. We'll do 4. We'll see if they'll double trade for a Zoni here. They kind of have to. If they... No, they're not going to. What does this even do? I haven't activated this before. Sack 4 tokens, surveil 2, draw 2, gain 2. I'm not going to sack all my tokens. So... Go to damage. Play a random reach creature. And... end of the turn, draw a card with Clue. Okay, that's not the end of the world. They don't get to investigate again. Okay, we held them back. Ugh. Holy moly. I'm not sure we have any more lands left. My gosh, I'm not sure we have any... Yeah, I think we only have 1 land left in the deck out of 16 cards. Okay, no attacks. That's got to be lethal if they don't have anything, right? Because I can make this unblockable and then give it like 15 counters or something. Let's see. They have a priority here? Oh, they do have priority. Could just be flipping this up. So maybe I don't want to go for that. Do I go for it? They could. I don't know what this could be when they flip it up, and I also don't know what that could be in their hand. It would be horrible if this gets countered, because I would like to be able to counter potentially something that they have, so I'm actually not going to go for it. I think it could very well have been lethal there, but I think it's too risky. So this could be like exit specialist or something. They intentionally tapped with 3 red mana open before when they played that disguise creature, so it could be something that, you know, needs red mana to flip. Definitely could be playing this slightly more aggressive, but again, I think that's the way we lose this game, is by being too... Hello, that's scary. Okay. Pass to blockers, I guess. So here, 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 here. What could this be? Bullrat Clan Basher? That would hit us, and then like a combat trick or something? So then maybe we do something like this, this, and this. Offender at large. That's okay. I can deal with that. And then concession. Oof. Man, these games are stressful, but look at that. That is 2 days in a row with a blue-green deck. Base blue-green today, splashing a couple of black cards for power. And that is 2 days in a row that we are 7-0. I mean, could you ask for anything more? Just incredible. I don't think I even mentioned it today, but if you aren't subscribed to the channel and you appreciate the content that I create and enjoy and feel like you learned something, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a Patreon if you feel like you would like to give back as well. Thanks for your consideration, all that. Thanks for joining me again today, and I'll see you next time for your daily draft.